offensively, a lot of key players defensively. So they've got a lot of the same bodies out there that they've been successful with the last couple of years. So it's a tough matchup. Like I said, you can't look at them as a 9-9 football team. You have to look at them as a 2-time defending conference championship team, and that's who the Gladiators are going to have to take down on Saturday night. But again, it's fitting because if you want to dethrone somebody, I mean, if you want to win the conference, you may as well go through knocking off the team that's been there before.
That's it. And you brought up Shane Austin. I mean, 99 touchdown passes on the season. And I know some people, that's such a crazy number that you almost just kind of brush it off because you're like, man, that's a sick-sounding number. But you know what I look at with him? The flip side. And say what you want. I know there's a ton of scoring in the Arena League, and it's different if you're not used to that from that aspect. But look at the other side, 15 picks. With as much as the ball is thrown in the Arena League. That number is interesting to me because that shows an ability to take care of the football when it's in a high-usage offense, you know?
You took the words right out of my mouth. The 99 touchdown passes is impressive because it's one off the Gladiators team record that John Dutton posted back in 2010. But the 15 interceptions is even more impressive. That shows that he takes care of the football, and if the Gladiators are going to be successful, especially against Philadelphia, taking care of the football is objective number one because Philadelphia is going to score their points. They've got too much talent on their side. You're not going to keep them at zero the whole game. They're going to score points. You just don't want to give them anything for free, and that's why taking care of the football, and that's something Shane Austin's done all season. That's something they're going to have to do on Saturday.
And not just done it all season, Doug, but even looking at the split of the season between the one loss of the year, he had the 10 interceptions in the first half of that, and then on the current 8-game run, only 5 interceptions to the 54 touchdown passes. So he's literally cut his turnovers in half from that good number to begin with in the second half of the season. Just 5 interceptions in the last 8 games.
Yeah, the interceptions have been down, and that one loss to Pittsburgh, Shane was victimized by some just bad bounces. There were a lot of unlucky circumstances in that game where balls were just going off a receiver's hand, off a defensive back's body, floating into the air, and then a linebacker happened to catch it. I mean, it was just plays like that were catching the Gladiators in that one. And everybody has a game like that. They still took 2 out of 3 from Pittsburgh, so we won't dwell on that too much. But the turnovers have been down, and that's led to a lot of Gladiator success. The other department, the Gladiators have done a good job of not dropping the football. I mean, these guys the fumbles have been few and far between for the Gladiators this season, and you're not running the ball, so you may not have as many fumbles as you do in the outdoor game. You're not running the ball as much as you do in conventional outdoor football, but the receivers have done a great job of holding on to the football as well.
Doug Plagans, voice of the Monsters and the Gladiators, with us right now talking Gladiators football. And as we said, on the push here, the playoff game. It's coming up this weekend. You've got Philadelphia. We got a 7 p.m. kickoff on Saturday?
7 p.m. Saturday, first 5,000 get a rally towel.
How's it looking? You think the house is going to be packed? I mean, I know you get the
$2 beer night as well, and yes, we should have. It's looking good right now. So make sure you get your tickets as soon as you possibly can. ClevelandGladiators.com/playoffs.
All right, man. Fired up for some playoffs. Hey, it's a good way. You know what, man? I'm fired up. It's just, we've talked about this the last couple of weeks. Just in general, a feel-good time around the city of Cleveland. Indians are still right there and kicking, regardless if some people want to look past them or not. And the Browns, this is the time everybody gets fired up at the preseason and the camp and all of that. Of course, LeBron. You got the Glads and the Arena Bowl here. I mean, it really is a kick-ass time to be a Cleveland sports fan, Doug.
There's a lot going on, and that's something to keep hitting home to people. The Gladiators had the best record in the regular season, best regular season record in AFL history. So as long as they keep winning, they're going to be at home, and that includes the Arena Bowl if they're fortunate enough to get to that point.
And that would be pretty amazing here. And then, not trying to look ahead, but what's the matchup that they will face the winner of? It is Pittsburgh, correct?
Orlando, and they did not play Orlando during the regular season. They played Pittsburgh 3 times, beat them twice. The only loss the Gladiators suffered all year was to the Pittsburgh Power, and the Gladiators finished 17-1. But you could make the case that Pittsburgh's the hottest team going into the playoffs, having won 12 straight contests leading up to this playoff season.
Wow, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, they finished 15-3, but yeah, on a 12-game run. So, but that's looking ahead.
The last loss for Pittsburgh was a 55-28 defeat at the hands of the Gladiators at the Q back on, I believe, April 26th. They have not lost since the end of April.
Wow, think about that. Last time Pittsburgh lost, Johnny Manziel was still a college football player, man. There you go. Yep. It was before the draft. And so let's see. You've got this weekend. The following weekend would be the quarterfinal matchups. And then the Arena Bowl is August 23rd, right?
Yep, exactly. There's a week off between the conference championship games and the Arena Bowl.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, I'm excited, man. I'm fired up. I know you are, too. Going to be a big house down at the Q here this weekend. The Cleveland Gladiators looking to make a run. They've got home field advantage through the entire deal. It starts with the Philadelphia Soul this Saturday, 7 p.m. Get down there, check it out. And if you can't get there, listen to my man Doug here as he calls it. Of course, as always, calls all the action. Doug, I know you're excited. You got a lot of work to do. I'll let you go. Next week, I hope we're not talking about looking back at a great season that fell short. I hope we're talking about, hey, who's next, Orlando or Pittsburgh?
Yeah, hopefully it's a conference championship preview.
Absolutely. Doug Plagans, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule, as always, for being with us, my man.
For having me.
You got it. We'll catch up with you next week.
Sounds good.
All right, my man, Doug Plagans, the voice of the Lake Erie Monsters, the voice of the Cleveland Gladiators. Cleveland looking to get hey, I know you could say, it's arena football, the playoff monkey. I don't care what sport it is. They're looking to get it off the back here this weekend, and I'm all for it. Anything good for the city of Cleveland, I'm all for it. Gladiators 17-1, looking to continue that. And you know what? Breaking during that segment, we'll come back and talk about it, but Jon Lester traded not to the Indians, St. Louis. And you know what? I'm hearing there's way more than the players to this. There's money involved in trading hands on this. Jon Lester headed to, man, talk about a team bulking up for the stretch run. St. Louis, they get Masterson yesterday. They snatched Jon Lester here during the last little bit. We'll update you more on that as we go. A lot of things going on right now as Jubal Cabrera red hot, and I've got more on that. Wow, we'll talk more about this when we come back. Masterson and now Lackey bolstering that rotation for the playoff run for the Cardinals. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about the Browns, the latest with Josh Gordon. Phone lines are back open, 216-539-7535. If you called in and I had to cut you down, come on back. I'll put you on now. 216-539-7535. We'll be right back with all the latest next on the Sports Fix. Gladiators fans, get out there. Enjoy the playoffs, baby. Playoff football at the Q, Saturday night at 7.
A public service announcement from the Sports Fix. We here at the Sports Fix and our affiliates would like to apologize for any disturbing verbal actions, but remember, it's better having them trapped in a box than loose on the streets. Public service announcement from the Sports Fix. The Sports Fix, the sports show that cares.
Guys, want to take just a second as we head into this break and remind you about the official business printing source of the Sports Fix, our friends at Signs and Ship. Signs and Ship, I'm telling you, Chris and Pam, they've taken care of me since day one, and they can do the same for you. Whether you're a small business that's already been established and you're looking to grow to that next level and expand your business, or perhaps you've got an idea that you just know is going to be a great business and you need to figure out how to brand it and how to promote it and put it out there, Signs and Ship is the place for you. If you need a logo, they can create one for you. They have a fantastic graphic designer. Business cards, signs, banners, yard signs, mobile advertising, anything you can think of that you need to promote your business, they've got it at Signs and Ship. The best thing about them, too, is each of their locations, whether it's the home base here in Elyria, Ohio that I work with, or their spots in Virginia, Florida, and Pennsylvania, it's all local sourced. Very important to me because we all understand that small business is the lifeblood of the community. So check them out, signsandship.com, or call Chris and Pam today, 440-323-6060, the home office in Elyria, Ohio. Signs and Ship, quality printing at affordable prices.
It's the Sports Fix. We'll be right back.
Indians fans, GV Art and Design has unleashed their new baseball collection. This summer, you've got to have one of the hottest baseball shirts available. Indians themes, GV Art has them covered from top to bottom. Chief Wahoo, keep the Chief, one of the hottest sellers going today. GV Artwork, knocking it out of the park, teaming up with Michael Brantley to create a custom Dr. Smooth t-shirt, bringing back an old classic. GV Artwork, bringing out the wild thing. Give them the heater design. The Cleveland That I Glove collection continues to grow. New designs for women and so much more. GVArtwork.com, bringing it full force to the plate for baseball season this year. Whether you check them out online, GVArtwork.com, use the sales code FIX10, FIX10 to save 10% on your total purchase. Whether you go to their store in Lakewood, check them out at the Cleveland Indians team shops around Progressive Field, and so much more. GV Art and Design. It's not just a shirt, it's a statement.
Sports Fix listeners, like us on Facebook today. Facebook.com/The Sports Fix.
I've been a pro wrestler my whole life, so championship belts have always kind of been a way of life to me. But did you know title belts are quickly becoming the fastest rising and the most popular new way for people to celebrate all kinds of things you never would have thought of before? We use it for our fantasy football league. It's a really cool conversation piece. Office pools, employee of the month, you name it. There's tons of different trophies that you used to buy plaques for. Well, I'm here to tell you about Pro-Am Championship Belts, who have the highest quality championship belt with the lowest prices. Replace those old trophies with stock belts on hand that they can customize for as low as $30. Any occasion, celebrations, awards, championships, fantasy leagues, gifts, plus wrestling, mixed martial arts, boxing. If you need championship belts, check them out. Pro-Am Championship Belts, ProAmBelts.com. Look them up on Facebook, Pro-Am Belts. Trust me, nothing says cool like doing the discount double check with a real championship belt. Just ask Aaron Rodgers. Now you too can have one thanks to Pro-Am Championship Belts.
Hi, this is CJ Miles of the Cleveland Cavaliers, and you're listening to the Sports Fix.
Welcome back to the Sports Fix, live on the Sports Fix Radio Network. J-Rock back with you here, and I'll tell you what, I solved that question during the break as far as the trade here. Let me fill you back in as we get back into it. Phone lines are open, 216-539-7535, 216-539-7535, Facebook.com/The Sports Fix. Tweet with us at The Sports Fix, CLE. Email us, thesportsfix@AOL.com. Cardinals, Lackey, acquired by the Cardinals, and I'll tell you why. Looking at the trade here, and this makes a whole lot of sense now, because like I said, the Indians were definitely in this discussion. They were very interested in acquiring a veteran pitcher like Lackey and extending him. But when you look at what was sent out, Joe Kelly, Alan Craig, I understand that to like the casual fan, especially here in Cleveland, you may go, who's that? But both very, very intriguing young players. Just looking at what they've done, Alan Craig last year in 134 games hit .315 for the Cardinals. He hit .307 the year before that, .315 the year before that. He's slumping this year in only 97 games. He's hitting only .237, but previous 3 seasons above 300, all 3, and those are his first real 3 full seasons in Major League Baseball, as he is only 4 years into his career. So that's that right there, a young hitter, and there's a decent piece. Then add over Joe Kelly. You look at him as well. Last year, 37 games played, 15 starts for St. Louis. He had a 2.6 ERA. The year before, 16 starts for St. Louis, a 3.5 ERA. This year, 7 games started. He's 2-2. He's got a 4.3 ERA, but for his career early on, and this is a guy with two plus, just a hair over 2 years in Major League Baseball as well. And, young pitcher, young hitter, both very highly touted. We just talked about it, talking about Ramsey coming over to the Indians. They've got great young guys. They've got a great farm system. These are a little higher than prospects. These are prospects that are kind of at the major league level now. They're a few years above just looking at it like a AAA prospect, but you could still use the term prospect because these guys are so young. They've already shown something, and both slightly devalued by this